changed it. We're live.
You don't say it.
Yeah, it said it. You missed it.
Okay.
We're live.
So some things have changed on our end, and it's kind of confusing me, but here we are nonetheless. February the 11th.
February 11th.
That's not good. February 11th. Well, we're a minute behind. 4:01 here in Alabama.
Alabama.
Warm Alabama. Except for it seems like when I go outside, I'm warm. When I come inside, I'm cold. Does that make any sense?
Mm-mm.
I just asked Jason if he was cold because I wanted to cut the heat on, and he said no.
I'm not cold at all.
So here I am with a thermal shirt on, and he's rolling his sleeves up. I just looked at the temperature, and I can't remember what it was.
It's
right at 70.
Yeah, it's pretty warm. Yesterday was cold.
It was. Yesterday was quite chilly, and I wasn't expecting it. I went outside with my long sleeve thin shirt on and my long sleeve pants. Long pants that were thin, and had to come back home and put my insulated pants on and my jacket.
Oh, me.
So, is it cold where you are? I just saw somebody say it was 21 there where they were. Saw some people say that it was snow. Well, there's Rick. He said it's snowing in Pennsylvania. Oh my goodness. I know it's not snowing in St. Augustine, Florida, where Lisa is. So, I think most of the United States is cold. However,
not here.
Not here.
Hopefully we can make the entire live because we got heavy rain coming.
Heavy rain. Have you looked at the radar?
Yeah.
I looked at it right before the live, and the line is in Mississippi.
It's close.
So Jason tells me to don't look at put it in motion to see what time the weather's going to be on top of us.
The future.
But if you look at the future, it shows it like right at 5 o'clock. So we should be able to make it.
Usually what happens with you is you leave it on the future and you're like, it's raining now. And it's not. You're on the future.
I'm the future. I just can't help it. I'm the future.
You're on the future.
I'm not electronically tech savvy.
Yeah.
I had to get a new phone, y'all. This was last week. I'd been telling Jason that something was wrong with mine.
Yep.
He had told me to go ahead and order it, and I kept putting it off because that's something I do not want to do. I want to use mine until it doesn't go anymore.
And it was almost there.
Well, it had gotten to where I had to charge it 3 times a day. The battery was going kaput. You can't buy a new battery for these phones without justifying the cost of it. And so I had to get a new phone. And since Jason videos more than I do, we got him the newest version, and I got his old one.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally took almost an entire day to get everything transferred over.
Yeah.
And still some things like our personal email is not completely set up. It's just everything has to be signed back in. It's just a pain.
It is a pain. Even though it goes on the cloud and it comes over, it still takes a while. And then you got to set your service back up because we use Straight Talk because it's so darn cheap. And
we buy the phones outright rather than go through a carrier and pay payments and all that good stuff. So, yeah, there's no technical help on our end. Now, I was about to the point where I said, I just go to Verizon and buy the phone and let them set it up because it's not that he can't do it. It takes so much time.
It takes a long time.
But at least I didn't have to sit at Verizon. At least I could sit at my house.
It's been the same thing.
Oh, I know. I had to leave it there, and I'd have had to sit there and twiddle my thumbs. And,
yep. Better here. Yep.
It's better here. And while everything's not perfect, it's functional. Right?
Yeah, it's working. It's working pretty good.
Well, except for my email and a few other things. Every time I go to add something to my Walmart cart, I have to sign back in. I don't know why it won't stay signed in, but
so that doesn't make sense. I have to look at the settings because that doesn't make sense.
Nick and Zoe, somebody said tell Nick and Zoe hi. So I guess they're on here.
They're on here.
Hey y'all, hope y'all are doing okay this wet afternoon here in Alabama. It has not rained as much as I thought it was going to up until this point today. I thought today was going to be a completely washed out day.
I really didn't know. I just knew it was going to rain, and it has rained some.
It has, but according to the weather that I saw, it was 100% chance of rain, and the hour by hour showed like 100% all day long. So it hasn't been that.
I got you.
And that was unexpected for me. We need the rain, but I'm happy we got a day that we didn't waste.
Yeah.
I'm happy I didn't have to do housework is what I'm getting around to.
Well, when it was raining, I was doing something I didn't want to do.
You were, and I could tell you were a little agitated. Matter of fact, Mary Carl had asked me if we could go to the town.
Yeah.
Go to the town and go to the thrift store.
Yeah.
And I told her that if we did, it would be later this afternoon. And she said, okay, about what time? I did not know. So I spurted something off. I said 2:00, but I got to be home by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. About 1:00. We still going to the thrift store? I thought to myself, yeah, when I said that, I thought it was going to be raining. And it hasn't rained, but I told her I was going to take her. So I did. I asked Jason if he wanted to go, and he said, I got to do these taxes.
Yeah, taxes. Ooh.
And I said, well, is there something I can help you with? And he said, no.
Mm-mm.
And so I took Mary Carl to town. We have a new thrift store that you have not been to.
Haven't been there.
I believe it's called Restore 52.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's what it's called. But it's very organized. It's very nice. And Mary Carl and I have been there twice, and both times she's found a few things. She's really interested in like old jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
And she likes the necklaces that come to, that are a big necklace, and then it comes down to like where a pendant would go.
Mm-hmm.
Usually she takes the pendant off, whatever's there, and puts her own personalized thing on there. But she found one of those, so she was happy. And we got back just in time for the live.
Just in time for the live, and I got through with it.
Did you get finished with everything?
I didn't get through editing your video.
No, my video doesn't come out tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
Did you start on mine?
I got it all. I got all the files transferred over.
For both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, goodness, y'all. It's been a long day for Jason.
It has been.
At least both sides of your face are even today, though.
Yeah, that was my comment that showed up quite regular there was something I was swollen, but I wasn't swollen. Just my beard had been brushed back. I needed to brush my beard.
They said and it was not just one person. It was multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
Said Jason looks like he has swollen cheek. And I checked him over good, and he was even.
I was even, Steven.
The next day after that, he shaved his beard a little and trimmed it down, so he's no longer puffy on one side. It just was an illusion. That person said they noticed it too. See?
Yeah.
It was just, hair grew a little thicker on that side.
That's right.
But now he's back in order.
Back in order.
Yeah.
Got it taken care of.
Got you all fixed up.
Got it taken care of.
Somebody wanted to know how Opie and Aunt B are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if y'all missed the video, Jason announced that we named little man Opie and his silky friend Aunt B.
That's right.
So that is what their names are, and that is what they will be. Now,
Opie and Aunt B.
I must say, this morning when I went down there, I had a hard time not saying little man because
so you're calling him.
That's what we were calling him because we didn't have a name. So, it's funny to me how our animals do know their names.
Did he know little man?
Well, he doesn't know anything. But Matilda doesn't know hers.
No,
she does not know hers. Yeah. But the ones that do know it will completely swing their head around.
They will.
And let you know that they know their name.
I would say that the cows besides Matilda know their names.
Oh yeah.
Moody the especially. To me, he knows his more than any of them.
Oh y'all. I talked to a neighbor across the street.
Yeah.
Who used to own the property that we live on before the owner owned it that passed away that we bought it from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a minute, but his family initially owned this property. And I was talking to him across the fence, and it was raining. Cars were going by, so we were trying to conversate in between the cars going by and whatnot. And he was telling me that I was going out that day to see if Tater may have had a tater tot. And so he saw me walking down the fence row, and he said, how you doing? And I said, I'm fine. I said, I'm coming to see if that red and white cow, I didn't know what he knew about cows. So I said, red and white cow has had a calf yet. And he said, you know what? He said, I was looking at that calf when she got there. And I said, that is a good looking Hereford.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I was wondering if she came from such and such farm up in Fort Payne, Alabama. And I told him, that she didn't, that she came from Nick and Zoe, and Nick and Zoe, where they got him. And he said, man, that's a good looking cow. He said, as a matter of fact, he said, me and that big old steer over there, we have a conversation every morning at 2 a.m.
He gets up early, though.
And I said, 2 a.m. And he said, yeah. He said, well, my mama got sick. I got in a routine of getting up and staying up with her. Mm-hmm. And so I just got to where I didn't require a lot of sleep. He said, so I get up at 2 o'clock and get dressed and go to work. And he's got 1,100 acres of land with 100 head of cattle that is not across the street from us. That's not that neighbor. His land is away from the house. So he goes there and does, work on his property. And he said, I said, well, his name's Moody. And he said, Moody. He said, I just call him Bud. And he responds every time. Bud. He said, me and Bud have a conversation every morning.
I might have to call him Bud and see what he does.
Well, he said, I can start calling him Moody, but he thinks that I'm going to call him Bud. So needless to say, he thought Tater was a good looking girl.
Yeah.
And told me that his 100 head of cow eat 7 round bales of hay a week.
35.
28. 7 times 4, 28.
I thought he was something about 35 bales.
And so I said,
35 bales? Let's be 35 bales. No.
I said,
I got 35 from him.
I said, I will never say anything about how much hay my cows eat again.
That's a lot.
7 round bales a week for 100 head of cattle. So, that's quite a few.
I don't know where I got 35 in my head.
I don't know.
35 a month, but that wouldn't be right.
And he said, you need to have a talk with those chickens. And I said, what you mean? He said, every time I go to get eggs, they sold out. And I said, well, I got some that I just put out. He said, let me go get my keys. I'm fixing to go up there and get me some. Because his driveway is a good bit of a walk to our farm stand.
Right. Yeah.
And I said, well, Eugene, I tell you what, I'll go grab you a dozen eggs and I'll sit it on the bottom of the egg cart. And he said, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then I saw him when he was getting his eggs, and he said, if you see a $5 bill in that box, you always know it's mine. He said, because that's some good old eggs, because we charge $4. And so I tried to tell him, I said, you don't owe us anything. Just take the eggs. And he was like, oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. You got to feed them chickens, and I appreciate the eggs.
He didn't say what kind of cattle he has, did he?
No, but I can ask him.
I wonder what he raises.
I don't know.
It's interesting to know.
So he said that he was going to call me if he were to see Tater in any kind of stress or having a calf or any kind of, he's going to check her out at 2 o'clock.
I check on her every morning. Let me see what's going on there now. Oh.
It's all right, Jason.
I see. Moody and Mildred.
Yes, she's separating herself a bit.
But I don't see Tater.
That's becoming the norm. She's not staying with Moody and Mildred like she always has. She's separating herself, and those two will be standing at the hay bale together while Tater will be way across the pasture. And sometimes she's just laying down, sometimes she's walking around, but she's not finding herself being up close to the others like she always has been. And I'm going to tell y'all something. When Jacqueline sent me that text and she said, is there any possibility that, I almost said Zoe can be pregnant? I'm sorry, Zoe. Is there any possibility Tater can be pregnant?
Oh my goodness.
I was in the barn at the time and I said, is she laying down?
Yeah.
She's laying down out in the middle of the pasture.
She's a good ways away from them.
Oh my gosh. Show them how far away she is.
Okay. So you can talk about Zoe being pregnant. Oh, look at this.
Zoe's not pregnant. Don't start that rumor.
All right, so you can see there's Moody and Mildred at the hay ring. And if you look way...
Go down some. There you go. On top of the hill.
Way over yonder. There she is.
Laying down.
Right there.
I couldn't talk. I had to look at Tater for a minute. So Jacqueline said that, and I said no. My quick answer was no. And then I said, I don't know what she's seeing. I said, why? And she said, because she said, I was watching a video and I just happened to get a good glimpse of Tater. I hadn't noticed her in a minute and she looks super wide. And I went out back and Tater was still standing there where she had eaten her breakfast. And when I looked at her, I look at her every single day of my life. But when I looked at her, I said, oh my gracious, Jacqueline might be on to something. So I told Jason about it and Jason kind of blew it off. He was like, okay. So I spent a couple of hours out there with Tater. I don't know what I was doing, but I went, Moody and Mildred were at the hay bale.
Mm-hmm.
Tater's hanging around the breakfast bar. And I'm out there and I'm taking, I bet I got 1 million pictures of Tater's udder area, her hind end, just trying to think, because it just wasn't right to me.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meantime, I reached out to Zoe and I said, is there a possibility that Tater could be pregnant? And she said, I don't think so. She said, Tater's too little to breed with her. She was with
Tater's not too little.
Not Tater. Ferdinand.
Yeah.
Ferdinand looks, is too little to breed with her. He'd been with them the entire time and they had never seen any activity. So they just assumed he was too little. And I sent her some pictures and she said,
oh boy got in some cowboy boots with some big heels.
He got something. He got something. I sent her some pictures and I think that she started thinking,
oh, man.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
Because her udder, I was looking at, I'd walk over to Mildred, I'd look at Mildred's udder, I'd come back and compare it to Tater's, and it just, everything looked different.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looked different. And so, I don't know if I got you to come look at her or if I got Mary Carl to come look at her, but when Mary Carl came to look at her, she busted out laughing. Yeah. And she said, Mama, she looks like a butterball turkey.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Mary Carl, I said, I see her every single day, and I have not thought anything about her weight. And she just giggled and she said, she's pregnant. Now, she don't know no more about cows than we do, but she knew that she was a wide load.
Oh, man.
And so in the meantime, no, this is on up when I immediately ordered a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
And I was so surprised because it got here in like a day.
It was quick.
It was FedEx. And I didn't pay any extra shipping, but it got here like that.
Where did it come from?
That EM Lab.
Okay.
It's the same place I ordered the goat from. Yeah. The goat took forever. And so Jason brought me the envelope, the FedEx envelope. Did you open it or did I?
You opened it. I didn't open it.
And I couldn't believe it got here that fast. And so first day it got here, I immediately went to go use it and was talking to Laura at Simply Making It through text. And I said, Laura, I'll call you, but it's going to be just a few minutes. You don't want to know what I'm trying to do, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm walking around with a Solo cup taped on the end of a stick trying to catch some urine from a cow. A car steadily going by while It wasn't just a stick. It was a Hoss weeder.
Yeah, single time. Yeah, weeder.
It was a Hoss weeder thing, and it had a curve on the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the curve was just perfect for that solo cup to go in the curve and me to duct tape around it.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up doing the job, but I had to stand out there for quite some time to finally get a little drop. I didn't get much, but I got enough. What you doing? Oh, Jason's got a picture of me.
There it is right there. So I sent this picture to Greg over at Hoss too, so you can clearly see the Hoss logo right there. And I told him, I said, here's the Brooks enjoying that Hoss new tool that y'all got out there. this urine catcher.
Urine catcher.
Oh, and needless to say, he got a kick out of it. He got tickled about it.
I walked to our tool section and I looked and I looked and I looked and I was really looking for just like a paint stick, just something with, and I would have had a hard time using just something without a curvature on the end of it. And I saw that and I immediately said, that's what I need. But I got to be able to cover up that sharp point because the last thing I want to do is stab her, Yeah. And it just worked out that Mildred and Moody stayed in their area where they had eaten their breakfast, and Tater started walking around. And I'm going to tell y'all, she didn't just walk around. She walked that. I had 11,300 steps at the end of that day. 11,300 steps. And that was just about all from following Tater around. She said I needed to exercise, and she did too. So,
oh man.
Anyway, got a little bit of urine, and the test worked like a little dipstick.
Yeah.
You put it in, swish it around for like 10 seconds, take it out, and wait on it to turn a color. And according to the color chart was how far along she was. So mine was like a light blue color. And at first I was like, first time, early pregnancy is what it said. And then up under it said, or very late term.
Yeah, it was
nobody said anything though. You thought that people were going to
I corrected it in the video.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was a little confusing because it gives you, it gives you 4 white counting 1, but if you don't count the white, it was 3 colors, and the one was early or late. Very early or very late.
That's the actual test that I used. And the second one right there, if you I don't want to delete it. If you look at that second thing, it says early term pregnant, and then under it says very late term. And that has to be where she was, because very early you wouldn't be seeing a cow that wide.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be seeing an udder starting to develop, and her, trying to separate herself. It's just a lot of things that made me know it wasn't early. She's been here for 3 months. She's past the first trimester for sure, because she didn't get pregnant by Moody.
No, she didn't get pregnant by Moody.
Oh, heavens to Betsy, if she did, we are in trouble.
We'd be in big trouble.
We would.
Would be bad.
We would be in big trouble. So.
Oh goodness.
No, it's we're pretty confident that little Ferdinand, did the job, and I just have never been so excited in my life since we have owned a farm. Y'all may have heard me say that before, and at the time, whatever I said I was excited about would have been it. But right now, this current situation is the most excited I've ever been on a farm.
Oh man,
I'm completely giddy, because I had talked to Jason at one point about possibly artificially inseminating Mildred. We talked about it on here. How I found what looked like a what do you call those pages when you look for a husband or a wife?
Like the want ads?
Well, yeah, but it's for a person mate.
I don't know what you call them. I know what you're talking about, like farmersonly.com.
Yeah, like farmersonly.com. I found something that was like Farmers Only for Mildred. And I could order Mildred a mail order boyfriend. And what made me think that is Dr. D said I'd let her have a calf. Yeah. She's too pretty to not breed. That is a good looking cow. Mm-hmm. And so when he said that, I found her a mail order husband and thought, well, I could artificially inseminate Mildred. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, if this goes smooth, I may be doing just that. And this man, he had the nerve to ask me, well, if she is pregnant, what are we going to do with the calf? In the most serious voice I have ever heard. And if he had been looking at me, he knew the answer already. I thought to myself, you have got to be kidding me. What do you think we're going to put her on a husband for sale site? Farmers only?
You keep on now. We're going to be doing them 7 bells a week.
That's all right. Zoe and Nick's paying child support. You know that, don't you?
Oh, me.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, me.
You're right, though. They do eat a lot of hay, and especially for pet cows.
Nick and Zoe said that we can just
borrow
Ferdinand.
I already thought about that. I was going to make sure this goes well first before I approached y'all about him.
Oh, me.
Yeah, we could work something out, you know? We could work something out.
So we're keeping the baby?
Heck yeah, we're keeping the baby. My gracious. What kind of question is that? That person said the same thing. Will you keep the calf? Yes, we keeping the calf.
Oh, me.
There it comes. Nope, that was a dog scratching. I thought it was rain.
I thought it was rain too.
I couldn't part with a calf that was born on this farm for no amount of money. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Y'all hear me?
That's right.
Oh, goodness. Yep. Yeah. Go right ahead. Think I'm going to rehome that baby.
Yep.
Yeah, especially after I assist in this birthing.
That's overload.
I hope I get to see this baby being born. I really do. I mean, I am just, I don't know what it is about babies being born, but I'm just excited.
We can try to get her in the stall in the barn.
Jason, she can't fit through the door. I saw some people saying, well, we're going to try to get her close to the barn. She can't fit through the door. There's no doubt in my mind she can. She cannot do it.
Yeah, it would be tight, wouldn't it?
It would. She could not fit through it. That door's probably 42 inches, and Tater's wider than 42 inches.
We'll get some WD-40.
She gonna need more than that. She gonna need some lithium grease. Let me just show y'all something. So I took a.
Nobody wants to see that. Don't show that.
It's her wideness. It's not her.
Don't show that. Nobody wants to see that, miss.
It's just her wideness.
Yeah, but it's the first thing you see.
Okay. She's double. Mary Carl put her fingers on it. She went like this. She said, okay, she was this wide 3 months ago, and she's this wide now. And that's what my picture literally did. It went from this to this. I had a backside shot, but I wasn't showing her hind end. I was just showing her width.
Because she got her tail cocked over to the side.
Yeah, it does kind of look kind of.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I told Catherine the other day, I said, if somebody were to find my phone and steal it, they would think I had something wrong with me, as many pictures of a cow's back end as I have.
Well, I don't think we got her front. You ain't got no pictures of her from the front.
I don't think so, because, I was just constantly trying to. Well, you can't. This is her initially. Look, that don't look bad. He not paying me no attention.
I got one for you right here.
Is that old or new?
It's new.
That's a new one. Do you have an old one?
Well, or you don't have to have an old one. People can tell this right off the bat.
Well, this is an old one. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's blurry. Can't nobody see that.
They can see how wide she is.
They can see how wide she is. I can tell you.
Okay, so here's the old one. Hold yours up. Same time. Old versus new. It is. I'm thankful for Jacqueline. I tell you that. I am thankful for Jacqueline. Y'all.
She looked like she swallowed a hot air balloon.
Oh goodness. Nick came over and I wanted Nick to look at her. I had dropped something off for the kids out at the farm stand. So Nick stopped and he said, I wasn't going to talk because I didn't want you to be videoing. And I said, come on in. I want you to come look at Tater. And y'all, he walked through our barn and he got out there and Tater was standing there and he started busting out laughing. And I said, what is it? And he said, yeah, she's pregnant. He said, there ain't no doubt in my mind she's pregnant. What does my vet say? My vet had a surgery, a personal surgery.
Dr. D had a surgery.
So he's down for a week or so, and I can't get him out here because he's recovering. Now, if I had an emergency, that was Holly. If I had an emergency, he would get here, but this is not an emergency. So as soon as he's able, he'll get over here and it might be twins, but it only happens like 3 to 5% chance. I hope not. I just don't. I want it to all go
smooth.
Just smooth.
Yeah. That's what we want. Smooth.
I want it to. Yes, twins don't do well generally. That's the truth.
I saw some people saying they thought Mildred was Free Martin, but not that we know of.
I thought she was too, Jason.
Why do we think that?
Because she was a twin.
She was a twin?
I thought so. That's the reason he dropped her over the fence.
She dropped her over the fence because she was orphaned.
I got to go back and read my messages from Christine.
I do not remember anything about a Free Martin.
I can't check her, Aaron, because I don't have, we've got a head gate, but the back post, we've got them in concrete, and they're too close together. She can't go through that either. She's too wide.
Are you talking about
Tater? Can I check her?
Oh. The head chute is the width of the head chute. That's the way it was built.
No, I know, but we got back.
I know that.
So we could put sides on it, but it's too narrow.
I got you.
We're going to have to cut those posts down and put some new. Has Tater had any cravings? She ain't told me about none. She might have. And she starts talking and starts telling me what she wants. She wants
you to go to Sonic and get her a cherry limeade. Something's up.
Yep, ain't that the truth? Mildred is a Charolais.
She's a Charolais. A Charolais and Hereford mix, if I'm not mistaken.
And Angus.
Angus, that's right.
She had 3 breeds in her, but she sure looks full-blooded. I don't know.
She does look full-blooded.
And somebody reached out and said that they thought you could do a cow pregnancy test through hair for DNA. And I looked it up and I found nothing about I'm not saying it's not possible.
Right.
But I'm saying I never found anything about being able to pull a few hairs to DNA test. That would be an easy way to do it because I certainly can't do a blood draw.
Right.
I wouldn't feel comfortable getting a vein.
Not on a big animal. They don't.
Michael said he just got here and Brooke's pregnant. It's Zoe, Michael. It's not me. It's Zoe.
Thank you, Mary Lou, and thank you, Lori. That's that got me thrown off there.
Yes, will Catherine be here to help me? Yes, she will. Catherine will be right here. Literally 4 miles down the road. She can be here in a.
And Nick has experience of pulling calves. So.
Nick passes by here every day going to work. And then, their farm's not too far from here.
And I bet Eugene's got experience of pulling calves.
Yeah, I bet so too. Too. Now, our neighbor across the road that we helped the calf.
Different.
That's a different
farm.
Neighbor.
Yep.
That's Butch.
And
Mr. Butch has a lot of cattle too, but Mr. Butch is still under the weather.
Yes.
So he's still recovering from the illness that he had when we got the calf. He had whooping cough, and then it turned into something else. So he's not doing 100%.
Correct.
But we got enough experience under our belt that somebody can be here.
Somebody around here.
And
we have a backup vet too.
And I've watched Dr. Pole enough I got to start watching it again. Those are my favorite episodes when he has to pull a calf. And it's always
and he gets that chain out, starts cranking.
Yes, we've got something just like that. His is a calf puller, but ours is a winch.
Come along.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll be just fine. I can handle it. I am a little bit nervous. Yeah. So. A picture of the daddy. All right.
I got it. You got it.
I got it. But he's laying down on mine.
Now yours. Now the last time.
Yesterday, it's not a hind-end picture.
No, yesterday you showed me one, but he was a baby.
This is him. Okay. Zoe sent this to me.
Okay.
But he's not standing up. So this is Ferdinand. He is also a full-blooded Hereford.
I see him right there.
He's a little man, and you can't tell it without him standing beside another of his kind to show standing side by side. But
I got him next to Cinco right here.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, but it still don't tell you much.
Yeah.
That's him on this side, and that's Cinco right there.
That's Chestnut Hills. They have another cow, another female named Cinco. So, yeah. I just can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't hardly stand it. I wake up in the middle of the night. I look at the camera. I cannot see anything. I figured out how to turn the flashlight on the camera. Last night I was steering around. I woke up at 10:45 for the first time. The first thing I do is get my phone and go to this thing and start steering it around, trying to find Tater, because we have cameras where we can see all the areas, but I can't see it out in the middle of the pasture. And she's probably not going to have it where we want her to. It'd
be nice if she had it in a little mansion right there.
Yeah. You know, maybe I ought to go put some
straw in there.
Some straw in there, just so it won't be dirt on the bottom.
Okay.
I don't know. I just don't know. I've been reading about dietary changes and what I need to add and what I need to do different. And believe me, everything that I've read that needs to be done will be done immediately. I just want it to go easy.
It'll go easy. It'll go easy.
A lot of you guys reached out to me through email and said, just let nature take its course. But in my mind, I've seen so many times that calves have had to be pulled that's what's in my mind. In my mind, it's 9 times out of 10.
Well, that's because
that's what they focus on.
Well, that makes great TV.
It does.
The ones that just walk out there and the calf's already born.
That's what I need to happen.
That don't make great TV.
But I mean, I need to see it.
Yeah.
I don't care if I film. Well, y'all would like to see it, but I'm not about having to film it. I need to be there.
Because I'm trying to think. Let's see. Bootsy's had baby twice. Bo's had babies twice. If I'm not mistaken. Capri and they've had babies twice.
And Catherine said that pulling is sometimes a courtesy action too.
I got you.
You know, to help the calf.
And we've only had one, you know, with Curtis.
Yeah.
That's the only really bad.
And he lived.
Yeah.
He should not be here today, but somehow, some way, that little miracle baby's still with us today. And not to say that it'll always be the case, because you don't ever know.
Mm-hmm.
You do not ever know what could happen. It's and that's what worries me. That's what worries me.
Well, we got lots of backup, so we should.
I can have a 10 out there. Yeah. Can y'all see Moody picking my 10 up and throwing me up in the air?
Somebody said Lester's only had to pull one of his calves, as many calves as he's had born over the years.
Well, 6 hours is what I read is the time frame. You want her from beginning of labor stages to calving to take less than 6 hours.
You gonna be out there 6 hours?
Heck yeah, I'll be out there for 2 trying to collect urine. Am I gonna be out there? I'll be out there for 16 hours if I need to.
Oh goodness.
Yep, I could pull the canned ham over there. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. I could pull that canned ham. I could park it right on that backside where there's no animals. So I won't have anybody knocking on my door in the middle of the night.
They'd find you.
They would. They probably would. They're fenced off.
They'd find you. We've realized that they walk that pasture a lot more than what we know. You know, especially since we got, you know, so many cameras now. We a I wonder how many steps they get a day.
Which one?
The cows.
A lot. I ought to put a tracker on them.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting to see.
They walk a lot more than we thought, because we go out there. I don't know how many times we walk around back. 5 times a day.
Maybe more here lately.
Well, I know that, but on typical days, I mean, I don't know. I mean, several times we look over there, and you just see them in one little spot, you know, and then you know, next time, you know, you see them at a little old spot here, but they walk a pretty good little bit.
Somebody wanted to know, could we put a camera out there? Well, we have a camera out there, but there's no way to get a camera that we could see that entire pasture.
I'd have to set a pole.
We'd have to have several cameras.
That's
probably about 5 acres. That's what Eugene said.
Yeah, 5 to 10.
He said 5 acres is what we needed.
I think I mapped it out when we were building the fence, and it was 8. I can't remember.
Maybe between all of it.
Maybe so.
But I just don't see it being possible that we could get, and we don't have Wi-Fi out there either. And we have Wi-Fi at the barn, but not in the middle of the pasture.
Mm-mm.
So we'd have to get something. I don't know. I'm just going to spend a lot of time out there. A whole lot of time. Somebody wanted to know if I plan to milk Tater.
No.
I do not.
She's not a milk cow.
Well, she could still be milked.
She could, but
and you'd probably
don't know how much you'd get off of her.
You'd get a lot.
You think?
Heck yeah, she's nursing a baby.
I know that, but it's not like a gallon a day.
Oh, it's way more than a gallon.
With that cow? A miniature Hereford? Let me read how much gallons of milk.
How much milk do y'all think that Tater could produce in a day? She's not a dairy breed, but it doesn't matter. She is a trail cameras in the pasture. Still, I can't direct it left, right. I can't. I'd have to go get the card if I don't have Wi-Fi.
1 to 1.5 gallons a day.
Okay, 1 gallon of milk's a lot of milk.
That's what I said. It wasn't.
That's like a lot.
I know. But, I mean, guess what Capri was doing? I'm just saying, for a cow, that's a lot of work.
They said 2 to 3 gallons.
Well, it says 1 to 1.5 is what I came up with. I may be wrong on that.
Why not milk her? Well, first of all,
not tame. Not that tame.
She's not going to stand for me to milk her.
Yeah, we don't have any place to milk her.
I don't have a spot that's clean enough and dry enough and, safe enough for me to be away from the other cows and milk her. That's never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
It's just not something that I'm interested in doing. I'll stick with goats if I'm going to milk. 2 gallons is what they're saying.
2 gallons for a miniature Hereford.
Miniature Hereford.
1 to 1.5 gallons. A miniature.
Well, it depends on what size miniature too. I mean, you got Daniel Arms. Maggie is not going to produce.
Yeah, but that's not a miniature. That's considered something else on the scale. That's like a micro.
Well, I think these people know what they're talking about. So, needless to say, I'm not milking her.
Right.
I guarantee you, a baby gets a gallon of milk a day.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Micro. She's a micro.
Okay.
Yep.
That's right. Milk is for the calf. You could calf share with her, but I'm not gonna do that.
I don't know if you could calf share with them just a gallon a day though. If it was like a dairy cow can produce anywhere from 5 to 10. I mean, it's crazy what they produce.
Yeah, it is a lot.
So yeah, those you'd have to.
Karen said she got
a lot of milk.
She got kicked hand milking.
Yeah, I bet so.
I don't think Tater would like me. I mean, for that matter,
she didn't like you walking around with your cup on a stick.
Well, she knew something was up.
She
did not mind.
What is this crazy woman following me around with a red Solo cup on a stick?
She minded me walking around with a Solo cup more so than she did me putting the camera up underneath her taking a picture of her udder. She didn't mind me doing that.
She didn't mind you doing that?
No.
But she didn't like the red Solo cup.
She did not like it.
That gives a different meaning to that Toby Keith song, don't it?
Yes.
Oh, me.
You know, we're not gonna ever eat any of our animals, but upon reading about what they need during pregnancy, I did find that it is a heavily sought after meat cow.
Yeah.
Has a lot of marbling in the meat, supposedly. Now that's not, please, not on our menu, but I just can't see raising that kind of cow for meat. They're so cute and so precious, and just to me, they're just pets.
Ours are.
Yeah, but I know that's not their their total intention.
Small fry.
Small fry.
Be a good name.
Yeah. Small fry and Tater.
And Tot.
Oh, we're gonna have 3?
No, that was another name. Tot.
Y'all heard him, didn't you? Small fry, Tater, and Tot. He's already got 3 names.
Oh, me. Oh, goodness. We
got it figured out.
So, change the subject a little bit, because I hear right now. Here?
Oh, my goodness.
The Egyptian goose. So I talked about the Egyptian goose, and a lot of people said or asked, maybe she wants a mate. That's why she's that loud. But she's got a mate. She's got a husband, and the males are not loud at all. You can hardly hear them. He sounds like somebody hoarse.
He goes.
That's it. You can barely hear him.
Dee Dee's looking at me like I've lost my mind.
But she does that almost all day. Almost all day. And even when it's dark, I can hear sometimes when it's dark. And it's just in their nature. They're just kind of like guineas. I mean, it's just all day.
And you know, Jason doesn't care for guineas, and he doesn't care for her either. Had a friend of mine, Mr. Robert Day, reach out to me many years ago when we first got the Egyptian pair, and said that he would like to have some if they ever had babies. And Jason said, even then, you can give him those if you want to.
That's so good.
And of course, now, you know, it's just become a part of some of our daily routine, and I don't think much about it. Jason does, though. Here's the thing. She has a mate.
Yeah, she's got a mate.
She has 2 mates. They're not both Egyptians. Her second mate is a Muscovy duck. And she goes back and forth. That's why you see her at the pond all the time. The pond is where the Muscovy resides. The other pasture over where the pigeons are is where her husband resides. And she literally flies back and forth. It's a mess.
I don't know why they put up with her, all that nagging she does, because it's all day.
It is all day. She'll get up on the side of the dam, and she has had angel wings since we got her.
He has, not her.
Yeah. Since we got him.
Yeah.
And she stands up on that dam and just squawks. And he'll come over there from time to time, but he doesn't stay long. Maybe he's got a girlfriend back at the. I had never noticed him.
He leaves because he don't want to hear that all day long. I know why he leaves.
You think?
Yes. Ain't no man gonna put up with that all day.
Maybe does
all day. No, I tell you what, I'll have to video it. It's literally like a carrot. She gets this far from that poor Muscovy's face and does that all just like that. And he just stands there like this, and she's just like this. And I'm like, what in the world? Why do you put up with that, fella?
Reckon what Nugget thinks about it.
I don't know. Nugget would probably run her off if she got close enough.
She is loud.
She's loud.
She's louder than any of the other goose. Speaking of geese, do you know what happened this morning? I go in to take care of the chickens, and I walk over the fence, and everybody's ready for their corn. You know, they think that corn is just the best stuff that ever came out. And cheese came off the ground about 4 foot high.
They get the corn.
Well, no, he was just excited. Yeah, he don't care about the corn as much as the chickens do. But he literally came off the ground 4 foot and flew the length of the bus and landed before he got out of that fence. I've never seen him do that. Wow. I have never seen him do that. I said, cheese. What are you doing?
Was it thrust, drag, lift?
Thrust, lift, drag, weight.
Thrust,
lift,
drag, weight.
Yes. Ask me how I know.
Some of y'all may get that.
Yeah.
If you got children, some of y'all may get that, or grandchildren. That's
maybe not children, because I liked it now.
It was. It was a movie Mary Cole loved.
Rio. Thrust, lift, drag, weight. Mm-hmm. Thrust, lift, drag, weight. And then
he couldn't fly.
Plop. And that's kind of exactly what Cheese did. You know, he looked like he was going to take off, and
down he went.
He plopped. Yeah. So I made a post this morning on Facebook. I can't always figure out YouTube or Instagram, so you just get to see one. I know Facebook. I know how to do it. So I posted my eggs after I gathered them this morning, and a lot of you may have saw it. For those of you that didn't, I'll show you right now.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. Well, I can't do that, can I, Jason?
You still like that?
Should I crop it?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You got it.
So there's my collection this morning. Yes, the wind was blowing, hence my hair.
The wind's rough.
Guess how many eggs I collected this morning? Yep, JL got it. 45 eggs. And they were all spotless. I'm telling y'all, I've told you before, but if you have chickens and you collect nasty eggs, I pity you. I really do, because I would say before you get the chickens, save up.
That's $1,000 worth.
Before you get your chickens, save up for a nesting box, because that is, to me, it's become the most important part of our farm.
I saw somebody earlier said that they got theirs today or this week, or I couldn't get a chance to read.
I wonder if they got it put together. It takes a minute to put it together, but
you do got to put it together.
I'm glad I got somebody here to put it together.
You do got to put them together.
Yeah, they're happy hens, 45 eggs. I mean, I put 3 dozen out there, and I saved the rest of them because we're going to have breakfast for dinner.
Good. We need to order another one of those too.
Yes, we do.
I'm going to write it down.
Well, I looked the other day, and I didn't know if I needed 1 or 2 and what size. So, yeah, it is. And you know, I'm sure you could probably build you a little something if you just took a board and put it at an angle with some L brackets, just so it slanted forward. You could probably build something, but it is well worth it to not have to clean eggs.
Yep. How many chickens do we have?
I think our last count was like 71.
Is it that many?
I thought so.
I don't think it's that many.
Okay.
That was 60-something, 60. I mean, that's not that much difference, but.
Do my covered panels help with the eggs? I don't think so. I think it's just the warmer temperatures. The days are getting
longer.
The hens that were not laying that last year are starting to lay this year. I mean, I got 12 new Rhode Island Reds last year. I got 12 new Barred Rocks. So all those girls are going to be in gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The molting season is over, which they molt throughout the year, but the late molting season's over, and the longer days, and then the warmer temps are really what's putting it on.
Sue Slaughter said that paint roller trays work. You could put a paint roller tray at an angle, and when the hen sits in it, obviously it's going to roll out. But
yep. Yeah, you could get all that.
Jacqueline built something for her chickens. She built a roll-out nesting box a long time ago, before we ever had ours. And I'm sure that if you're clever enough and handy enough, you could build one. You sure could.
Somebody said usually around Valentine's Day is when laying starts. That's about right. It's going to the length of the days are going to show enough get them going.
Yes. I'm happy that they have started laying, and I'm sure our neighbors are too.
Yeah, they are.
I counted, I believe it was Sunday. We have a lot of traffic on Sunday. There's a lot of churches near where we reside. And so we know that we have a lot of traffic on Sunday. I had 3 dozen out there. And if I said 15 cars stopped, of course they can see the sign and they back out. But I'm not exaggerating when I say 15 cars probably stopped. And so much so that, so last night I got woke up. Jason didn't wake up, but the dogs woke me up. And I mean, I thought there was a monster outside from the way they were barking. And during that time, my wheels got to turning and I got to thinking about how can I have more chickens? Because I'm just about at the end of my amount that I can have, and I want more chickens. I need more chickens. So I started looking on Marketplace and I found this. This is called a peanut drying wagon.
How much is that thing?
1, 2, 3, 4. That means 1, 2, 3, make an offer.
I got you.
He says he does not text well. Please call. But it's in Defuniak Springs, Florida.
Oh, that's a lot.
But I found some other ones. That's not the only one, Jason. I've got tons of them sold. Look at this one.
Look how much that thing is.
Well, we wouldn't have to do much to it. This one's reasonable. I found this one. So, don't judge me if you see me going down the road with a peanut wagon headed to Cogkill Farm. I might have to get Roberto to help me put a lid on it.
The cotton wagons too.
They're so expensive. You can't find.
Okay.
They're open on the sides too.
Oh, that's right.
We'd have to figure out how to.
I think that's what Joel Salatin made his at. No, it was P. Allen Smith. I think made his out of cotton wagons.
Well, cotton wagons are awesome, but they have mesh sides. And I don't want my babies to get chilled, so we would have to put metal or something on the sides to.
What he did, I have to go back and look.
I was thinking that we could put. That's right. We could put one. They said in the first pasture, we could put one out with the cows, and follow. Just let them.
We could, but what's going to keep Moody from pushing on that thing?
Electric fence around it.
But you're going to have to go out there and get them eggs.
Can handle it. He's always got a reason why I can't do it.
I just think
that's all right. Me and Catherine will go get this peanut wagon. You stay at home.
Oh, me.
And I'll get Roberto to put the lid on it. We won't involve you.
Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm.
If you got one big enough, you could just run one.
Jason, I don't need one. I need 2. I need 2 wagons. See, Catherine's in for a road trip. I knew she was.
We can run on the backside on the power lines.
And I also got to think about water access too. I certainly don't want to have to take around.
Get you one of them totes and
one of those IBC totes. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to say, "Oh, I don't feel like filling up their water," and have to go up to the house to get a water hose and whatnot. I want it to be easy. So.
Easy.
I'm on the lookout. If y'all see one, send it to me.
Oh, me.
Especially in Clanton. I started to put a post. Let me tell y'all this. So I got finished with my Marketplace searching, and I didn't find exactly what I need. I mean, I found exactly what I needed, but it was 4 hours away, and that's just a little too far. So I looked on a farm page that I follow, and I typed in cotton wagon first. And lo and behold, the first thing that came up was Brooke Snyder Smith from years ago when I did a search and posted a picture of In Search Of.
Wow.
And that's the only thing that came up.
You were looking for a cotton wagon.
Yeah. I was looking for one, and that's the only thing that came up was my old post.
Oh, me.
A grain container, it's made like that, and that's not going to work. I need something that's got all the space in the bottom.
Our green trailer don't have wheels on it. It's flat on the ground. That's why we can't move it. It's stuck.
What green trailer? Oh, yeah, we took the wheels off of it. And we took the wheels off the purple one doesn't have.
Yeah, that's the only one that's got wheels is the yellow one.
We wanted it to be stationary, the green one. And I'm still not disappointed that we ever cut the wheels off of it. But I just love the fact that we can pull the chickens around. And what you looking for?
P. Allen Smith. I can't remember what his looked like.
It may have been a peanut wagon and not a cotton wagon. Oh, I've looked at all those pictures.
That's not his, though.
Well, I'm just saying, I've seen all that.
His are cotton wagons. I was just curious.
See, see how it is in the middle? That's factory, and he put that on the sides.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's P. Allen Smith's right there. He's got 3 of them.
There's such a glare on it, you really couldn't see it.
You couldn't see it?
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know that you could do anything different.
Oh. Yeah. That's pretty good.
And somebody said, buy an old school bus. I need to be able to pull it around with the tractor with ease. Not have to get in it and crank it up.
Right.
I just need something easy. And it probably ain't ever going to happen. Or if it does, it'll be parked right down there for the duration.
There were, our friends, they did a pop-up camper. That probably wouldn't be big enough, would it?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I need 100 at least. And the thing about, eggs, I wouldn't want it simply because the fact of the prices of eggs have gone up. I just love chickens. I just love them. And I always have. I mean, we've had chickens for
long time.
25 years. Right after, well, it wasn't long after we got married. Let's see, we've been married 25 years this year, so probably 20. We probably had chickens for 20 years.
Okay.
Right? That's about right.
That's about right.
Anyway, and still are learning, but we'll get there.
Yep.
We'll get there. So what are y'all having for supper tonight?
What's for supper?
I told y'all we're having $100 meal. That consists of eggs and Kaneka sausage and grits and maybe some biscuits. What about the Airstream? I thought about that, but I certainly don't want to use my Airstream. Yeah. One day I want to get that fixed. Jason and I were looking at campers that go in the bed of a truck today. Dreaming.
Fish and chips.
Chicken enchiladas. How about that? What about a food truck? They might get the wrong idea.
Red beans and rice.
Pork chop.
Freeze-dried. Oh, freeze-dried eggs. Yes,
we did. It was a long time ago. It turned out well. I filled them up in a mason jar, and they did very good.
Meatloaf and macaroni and cheese.
Cod and scallops. Why, tacos, of course. It's Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. White beans and sausage, roasted chicken and potatoes, homemade broccoli soup.
Oh, yes.
Homemade pizza.
My eye has been twitching all day, and it is still twitching.
Is it really?
Yes. All right, y'all.
Man, I got lots of good stuff happening today.
Lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff.
Chicken and dumplings. I love chicken and dumplings. That's something I did not like as a kid, but like now.
Guess what?
Chicken and dumplings.
Main Street had chicken and dumplings today.
Did they?
I look at their menu every day, whether we're eating there or not, and they had chicken and dumplings. So, well, I got to go check on Tater.
Yeah, she was laying out there.
She was, which is not much different than it has been. Nothing alarming, but I do want to keep a check on her and make sure. We're going to check her one last time before we go off of here and see where she is and what she's doing. Moody and Mildred are still at the hay bale. Is she in the same spot?
I don't see her. She's moved.
She's probably in the woods having her calf.
I don't see her. Did you?
No.
There she is.
You see her?
Yep, she's standing up now. See her?
Oh, yeah. That looks like something else right there. It's not, is it?
No.
It's just little.
Yeah.
The camera, as you zoom out, it gets grainy.
She's so far out, y'all couldn't see her, but she's over yonder.
She's over yonder.
Okay.
Well, anyway, y'all hope we don't have any bad weather.
Hope nobody has any bad weather.
I know. We got a line of storms coming from Mississippi that it's not expected to get real bad, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Just a lot of rain. And it is almost here.
Ooh.
See the blue dot? Here we are, and it's almost here. So I got to go check on Tater before the rain gets here, and we'll update y'all if something happens before the next video or next live, which is Saturday morning planning at 8 o'clock. And everything's as planned.
Yep.
That's the schedule anyway.
That's right.
So I'm going to check on a cow and hope y'all have a good supper.
And I'm going to edit tomorrow's video.
That's right. And I can tell y'all there's no calf, but it's going to be a good one.
That's right. Y'all be good.